An American journalist, Paul Kemp, arrives in San Juan in order to get a job at a local newspaper. He waits outside. The photographer of the paper, named Bob Sala, introduces himself. After some time, Kemp is invited into the office and he meets the editor, Edward Lotterman, who is looking to add individuals that can help him uplift the rank of the paper. After being introduced to everyone, Kemp visits library, where a guy named Hal Sanderson offers him a job. Later that night, Sala and Kemp go out for a drink. Sala says you were the only one who applied for job and the newspaper is going downwards, but his colleagues disagree with him. After some time, Sala talks about a man, Moberg, who works as a correspondent for the newspaper but never comes to office due to his drinking problems. Kemp asks his opinion about the job Sanderson's offered him. Sala tells him he used to work with us in the paper and he has many connections in the city, he might help him with his career. While dropping him back after dinner, Sala offers him a place to stay. Kemp goes back in hotel and spends free time on boat. He meets a girl named Chunald. She tells she is out for a swim to avoid boring business parties. Kemp starts to talk, but she leaves without replying anything. In the city, Kemp observes that although it is a tourist hotspot, poor security makes you unsafe to walk around. He writes about that in his article, but Edward never publishes. Edward asks him to focus on the attractions instead of problems in the city. Moberg walks into the office, and Edward threatens to fire him. Moberg argues he cannot fire him without clearing his dues. As Kemp interrupts and make them apart, Edward asks him to take charge in place of Moberg. While covering news of upcoming tour of the mayor of Miami, Kemp meets Sanderson, who invites him over for lunch. While on ride, Sanderson talks about his work, real estate, how peoples are ready to pay their life saving to own a piece of land in Puerto Rico. At Sanderson's place, Kemp realizes Chunald is in relationship with him. She arranges lunch for them. Sanderson asks Kemp to make an ads for his real estate business. After the meeting with Sanderson, Kemp packs up and goes to Sala's apartment because he offered him a place to stay. As he enters, Sala tells him Moberg also shares the room with him, but rarely comes in-house. Kemp does not like the apartment, but stays there. He has no options. Sala takes Kemp to a cockfight and shows how he makes money from it. While back in the apartment, Moberg shows up. He brings in leftovers from the rum plant, which has highest alcohol concentration. Moberg expresses his wish to kill Lotterman, then Sala tells him to go away. Kemp tells Edward about his latest article, about the poor living conditions in the city. Edward asks him to stop it, as he can't change anything because the sponsors of newspaper have their guidelines and they can't go outside it. Edward says no one would pay attention to such articles, because people come here to enjoy vacations, not to solve problems of the region. Kemp goes to Sanderson's house, and sees Chunald making out with him. Sanderson's friend and business partner, Art Zimberger, comes with his wife. Zimberger is a US Marine, who is about to work with Sanderson on a project. A few locals show up, but Sanderson says it's private property and warns not to come again. Kemp becomes upset by his actions, but won't say a thing to him. Sanderson invites Kemp to discuss with his friends at the party, including Zimberger and Mr. Segura. They explain him about their project of building hotels on the island, and tells him to write articles for it. In the car, after party, Kemp talks about Chunald with Sala, but he warns him to stay away from her, because she is with Sanderson. They go to a nearby hotel, but the waitress refuses to serve, saying they are off. Sala argues with the owner and Kemp realizes that the peoples are preparing to fight them. So, they casually walk away, but the locals start chasing them. Sala thinks they might get killed, but Kemp throws fire on them. Locals catch them and get into a fight, but the police arrive. They are charged with multiple cases, including hurting a police officer during the fight. The prosecutor sends them in jail for 30 days, but Sanderson bails them out. On next morning, Sala asks him to come with him to recover his car. They left it the night before. They find that the car is destroyed by locals, but Sala makes it work again. They take a cool ride to home and Kemp meets Sanderson's team. They explain to him the US military is relinquishing the lease on a property, and they can take advantage from it. Kemp talks about his concern after hearing their plan of building an entire estate instead of one hotel. Sanderson takes signs on confidentiality papers from Kemp, so that he can't reveal their business secret to no one. Kemp agrees and Sanderson offers him money, a new car, and asks him to pick up Chunald from house. In his house, Kemp meets her. She suggests joining upcoming carnival to Kemp. Kemp says I am not invited, but she forces him to come. They enjoy their time in the car and fall for each other. After the party, Sala worries that the newspaper that reported last night's incident. Edward scolds them for it. Seeing mad Salar, Kemp invites him and asks to join the carnival also. Mr. Zimberger talks with them about project of building hotels and resorts. Kemp says Salar that Sanderson's project is going to be worst for locals, because they are the ones who own lands and will lost it, Sanderson don't care about them. At the carnival, Sanderson gets mad after seeing Salar with Kemp. He scolds Kemp for taking Salar with him and sharing all secrets of the plan. Kemp assures him Salar will never tell anyone about the project. Kemp and Cunald spend some time on the boat. He tells her he wanted to be the best writer. Kemp left to join his friends, but Cunald wished to join him. Sanderson won't let her go, but she ignores him and goes anyway. Drunken Cunald dances with locals. Sanderson gets mad and tries to intervene, but gets beaten up and thrown out of the club. The next day, Kemp asks about Cunald, but Sanderson shouts and tells him that their deal is over. While coming back to home, Moberg meets them and tells that Lotman has left the job, and the newspaper will shut down in some hours. He offers them a special drug, and after taking it, Kemp got hit by realization and thoughts to expose Sanderson's scam of real estate. Out of nowhere, Cunald gets there and asks them to let her stay. Kemp meets Lotman and asks him to publish story about Sanderson, but Lotman refuses. Kemp can't take anymore, so he decides to find his way out from journalism. Cunald apologizes, thinking she caused him loss, but he clarifies she helped him clear his thoughts and he must expose scams rather than being a part of. They receive a notice from court that Sanderson has withdrawn his bail. Now they are wanted by the police. Salar leaves to their lawyer, and Moberg shows up, tells Kemp that the newspaper is being closed. Kemp wants to print one last issue about Sanderson's fraud deals, but they don't have resources to do so. At the time, Kemp receives a note from Cunald that she has gone and left $100 for Kemp. Kemp decides to bet $100 on cockfight to win more money. Moberg takes them to bless the cock so he can win his last fight. After winning, they return to office, but Sanderson's men have taken the printing press, so it's impossible to print the last issue. Kemp continues his quest, left Puerto Rico on Sanderson's boat. He married Cunald and became a successful journalist after knowing his true capacity. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe to help the channel out.